People are watching for an invasion as Russia moves its military closer to Ukraine's borders. No one knows if Russia will demobilize its forces on its own, if a diplomatic solution will convince it not to invade, or if it will invade anyway. Russia has set up its forces so that it can fight any war it wants, if it wants to. It has been clear for a while that the military is getting stronger in Kyiv. Russia has armed vehicles and weapons that are out of this world. Now, imagine a battle between Russia and Ukraine. Let's talk about weapons first, and then we'll talk about vehicles. T-72, T-80, T-90. The 1st Guards Tank Army was one of the first signs that Russia was getting stronger near the border with Ukraine. The T-72 and T-80 tanks from the Soviet era are now used by the 1st Guards. The T-90 is newer than the T-72 and T-80, but it has more complicated roots. Tanks like the T-90, which are updated versions of older tank models, are also made. Due to changes made after the T-72 was made, some versions may have more advanced systems than previous T-90 versions. 3 types of tanks have similar parts. They can drive between 37 and 45 miles per hour, T-72, and 27 miles per hour on roads, T-80. The 125mm smoothbore cannon on each model lets them share ammunition. These tanks can fire guided anti-tank missiles that are more powerful and can hit from farther away. Some tanks have strong sensors that can find enemies 1.5 kilometers away even when it is dark. Advanced targeting technologies are also being made for the T-14 Armata, which is a modern tank with a removable crew that hasn't been mass-produced for a war that needs to start right away. Tank groups march into enemy territory, over trenches and rough terrain if they have to, and kill the defenders. Tanks were made to have speed, firepower, and protection. Tank design has changed a lot over the years as people have learned from mistakes and tried new things. When these explosives on the hull and turret are hit hard by an enemy attack, they go off and stop the attack. The relic protection on the T-90 destroys incoming projectiles by setting off explosive sheets when they hit. Tanks can fight again without going back to a base because relic armor plates can be changed out in the field. Spotter or shooter. Tanks don't win wars. Tanks are used by modern armies that also use aircraft, artillery, infantry, and other vehicles. The Russian military uses weapons from the Soviet era along with modern ammunition and sensors. As part of Russia's buildup at the beginning of October, the BM-30 Smerch was seen near the border with Ukraine. The Smerch is a truck with 12 rocket tubes on board. The Smerch can fire all of its rockets in a 38-second burst, or it can fire them one at a time to hit more than one target. The Smerch's rockets, which used to go 43 miles, can now go 56 miles. Each rocket has one big bomb, 5 anti-tank bombs with a guidance sensor or 72 smaller bombs. Some munitions are explosives that break up when they explode, so one rocket can be turned into 72 smaller bombs that explode into 400 pieces. Syria and Azerbaijan both use artillery made by the Smerch company. Unexploded ammunition could be a threat for years, just like any weapon that spreads explosives. With the right ammunition, all 12 Smerch rockets can spread explosives over an area of 60 hectares, or 150 football fields. Russian scout drones, like the Orlan 10, can be sent by drone controllers to look at damage and find new targets. Cyber war. Tanks, guns, and drones all have a lot of sensors. Electronic warfare turns off the sensors of the enemy while keeping the sensors of the allies safe. Electronic warfare can be as easy as putting a jammer on a truck. Krasuka 2 and 4 are truck jammers. These jammers stop radar signals by sending out strong waves that make it hard for the system to see what's going on around it. Radio waves and GPS signals can't get to drones because of jammers. Electronic warfare is more effective now that we have sensors that can pick up on incoming signals and change the jamming signal to match. Krasuka jammers can stop enemy radar from seeing the world as it really is. This keeps friendly forces from being seen and makes some targeting systems less accurate. Let's talk about the military vehicles that Russia has now. Tiger is the first one we will talk about. This vehicle is used for patrolling, looking around, and giving fire support to infantry. It can carry 10 soldiers and their gear off-road, where regular cars can't go. There are other types of the vehicle that are used by civilians, or cars that rich people want in their garages but don't have guns. Tiger has 20 variations. They can swim over water obstacles that are 1 meter deep and move at 140 km/h while wearing 700 kilograms of armor. Some types of Tiger can survive mine explosions. Changes are being made to the vehicle. The plan is to use the chassis that worked well in Syria to build a new shell. Secret truck. The Russian military also has the Vidyas-2, which is a truck with an armored module hidden under a tarp, or a truck with a secret. Vidyas-2 looks like it is not what it is. It looks like a normal Euro 4320, but inside is a shell that can hold 16 soldiers. This chamber is protected from 5.45 by 39 mm and 7.62 by 39 mm assault rifle fire from close range. The cab for the driver is safer. It can stop sniper fire from a 7.62 by 54 mm gun. Both the driver's module and the modules for the troops have small holes for shooting. Vidyas-2 can withstand an IED or mine explosion of 2 kilograms of TNT. The new vehicle was a development of the Euro line by the Ministry of the Interior. The Vidyas-2 armored vehicle has a 9-speed gearbox and a 285 horsepower engine, which lets it go 90 km/h. One tank can go 1,000 km. Typhoon. This vehicle was made to move soldiers in weather between -50 and +40 degrees Celsius. The Typhoon can carry up to 10 soldiers, as well as self-propelled anti-aircraft artillery, a carrier for unmanned aerial vehicles, a crane, a tow truck, and other equipment. All cars in the Typhoon class use all-wheel drive made by KAMAZ. These 15-ton monsters can get through snow, sand dunes, and water. Bullets that can go through 14.5 millimeters of armor can't hurt a Typhoon's upgraded armor. They have small holes to shoot enemies through and machine guns on top that can be controlled by remote. Because of these things, Typhoons can protect troops on the move. Engineers put cameras all over the vehicle so that soldiers can see what's going on without getting out. The Typhoon was made with 2, 3, or 4 axles for paratrooper and infantry forces. Vodnik. Vodnik, which is also called Gaz 3937, means able to swim in water in Russian. It can get around water obstacles because its hull is built in a special way. The model is based on the real-life BTR-80, a light armored vehicle. Vodnik is a hybrid vehicle that can go anywhere and is quick. Each machine can go 1,000 kilometers on a single tank of gas and is used by the army to move people, set up things, and move cargo and equipment. Vistrals with armor. This vehicle, which is based on a KAMAZ, is for commanding officers and frontline medical workers. The armor on Vistral is the same as that on Typhoon. It can take hits from 14.5 millimeters bullets and ride over a mine. The military doesn't have many of these. There are 100 vehicles in the Vistral class. The Vistral can travel on top of T-80 tanks. It has been tried out in the Alps and on plateaus up to 4.5 kilometers high, where temperatures range from -45 to +50 degrees Celsius. They can handle humidity of 98% and winds of 30 meters per second. Since World War II, the Russian military industry has focused on making things that last and work well. Manufacturers of weapons and machines now have to make sure their products can work in harsh conditions because of the war. Thanks for watching this video. We'll see you next time.